I want to be able to have whoever I'm playing, a 70, well, Trump's 75. I was going to say 25-year-old grandfather. Wait a minute, that's Trump. But whatever those elements, I want that built in so I can just be the character and not have to think about it, do the performance, but be able to know the character so well. Like yourself, you know how you're going to react to something, So to be able to handle it that way, that means a lot to me. And that, I did 12 appearances on Today in Australia, and they were so great. Like they would give me 6 minutes. I mean, that's insane. 6, and sometimes I would actually be sweating. Like I need 6 new, because I would do 6 more new minutes of material. So I'd have to write it all out and do the bit, and then they'd hit me with questions. And you're on a weird delay because they're on the other side of the world. So you want to fill the time, and you just want to be able to do this. So it's not that you're on autopilot, but it's so natural and it comes to you naturally. That's what I try to do with all of these. But obviously with Trump, these last few years, it's been like all the time, so to perfect the character where I could just come on and either do something super authentic. I've actually done a number of documentaries where I've had to fill in his voice for stuff they don't have. And they were like, we really wanted to be as authentic as possible. And I'll go back and, he speaks the way he speaks, but I don't want to do it to the point where it's like comedic. So it's like, bring the tone down a little bit so it really sounds like him. And when they drop this in a scene, you're going to think it's him,
Oh, yeah. Because since 2016, that's when it took off for you, but that's when so many other impersonators came out, right?
Everybody jumped
And to
on
your
board.
point, they're just finding the funny things, that they see on Fox.
I hear some people do Trump like that. I'm not a Trump and everything. I understand what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're just zeroing in on one thing. It's more of a caricature, but I want to be able to play him. And, that's why I have the wigs and the makeup and the contacts. I wish I had your eyes, to play him right. And I'll buy the real Trump suits and the real Trump ties and the real, the really nice shirts and the elevator shoes, since I'm only 5'8", but when I'm on stage, you can't tell, so I want to do all those things. And that's the acting part of it. Do everything you can to not pull the audience out of this, this suspension of disbelief, and that's any theater. That's any theater. You want to minimize all those things. Here's the thing. Wait a minute. We're not in Antarctica in a hut. You want to make it as believable as possible.
Have you heard Jamie Foxx's impression?
Yeah, it's really good. It kind of went viral.
I'm like, oh my God.
Is there anything that guy can't do?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I don't know how he does it. He's the most talented man in the universe.
Yeah.
In my opinion, when it comes to singing, rapping, comedy, acting,
piano playing.
Yeah.
The guy
businessman.
The guy's on another planet. When you look at that performance in Ray, you're like, wow, this guy's really good. And every now and then somebody comes along. I don't know if you ever saw Collateral with Tom Cruise.
No.
And him. He's just playing. He's playing older. He's probably playing 20 years older than he actually is. And there's not 1 second where you doubt it. There's not 1 second where you doubt that he doesn't have a lot of self-confidence. Probably the most confident man on earth. And I'm not talking about Tom Cruise. I'm talking about Jamie Foxx. So confident, but his performance, and it's a lot of close-ups because they're in a cab. It's all in his face. It's all in his face, and it's so good. And it's like one of these guys who are like, put out another movie, man. Like, do something because you're so good. And that's why I think one of the things is he's so talented and he's so funny. And when he did the Trump impression, that's why it went viral. Like, people love this guy. He needs to be putting out more stuff.
Oh, yeah, his energy is infectious.
Yeah.
You see him at those round tables with people and he just wants to interject and he can't. He's just ready. He's got 3 cups of coffee. They're like, Adam Sandler. So Uncut Gems, that was a different role for him. Jamie Foxx is like, not to interrupt, not to take away from your time, but I love that scene when you're you could just tell his energy is infectious. He loves doing it. While there's some people who love doing it, but at the same time, sometimes it's a job. Your energy's not up. You're traveling from city to city to city. And Jamie Foxx is just always ready to go, in the best mindset, looking dressed to the nines. Doesn't even matter. It could be jeans and a t-shirt. He wears it way better than everybody else in the room. He's unbelievable.
And that goes beyond talent. He's just one of those guys, you know.
Yeah. And then to wrap this up, we're gonna have to have you back on too.
Yeah.
I have like a ton I want to ask you about.
Two.
Part 2 for sure, because we went on about Bill Burr and
we're
Sebastian and like all these other guys that are just phenomenal. You growing up back east,
right.
We talked a little bit about you've been out in Vegas 10, 11 years now.
I've been here 12 years this May.
12 years this May. And what can you say to people looking to move out here? Like,
if you're looking to move
some
here,
people say they love it who live here. I've heard it from multiple people, but then there's the stigma of Las Vegas that kind of scares people away.
Well, it's like any